What's going on, Phantom Saying New York Cosmotics fans alike? This is Phantom Base coming at you with our Week 2 PMC prep for the Colorado Mamoswine and their coach, Heavy Metal Pokemans, aka Eric, aka that dude. Yeah. So we're trying to bounce back off of a loss from Week 1. Pretty hefty loss too. I kind of got my crap shoved in, but that is okay. We can always come back. Now, um, this is going to be a very interesting matchup. Because first off, let me go and read you this is a division rival, first off. Second off, his roster is very scary. He's got Tapu Fini, Delmise, Jolteon, Goodra, Chandelure, Sableye, Ambipom, Claydol, Bisharp, Espeon, and Aggron. He is also ranked the #1 team in power rankings. This is versus me, who has Magearna, Latios, Araquanid, Alolan Marowak, Hitmontop, Nidoking, Lycanroc, Galvantula, Lurantis, Avalugg, and Autono. And it's Lycanroc Day, of course. Now, we're going to quickly go over the team that I've prepared. And as you can see, we have quite the heat already prepared for you today. So, starting out, we have Megan the Magearna making her return. She is going to be our little mascot this season. She's holding some of them lefties to get some extra health back as she sets up some Flurry Cannon, Aura Sphere, Shadow Ball, and Shift Gear. We are running enough speed to outrun a max speed to Jolteon at +2 from the Shift Gear. We are modest and max special attack for that damage output, and the rest goes in the bulk. This is one of our win conditions, I think, because in a way, all we need to do is get some chip damage on a good chunk of the Pokemon. For example, at +1, Goodra is 100% O-code by Flurry Cannon, even Assault Vest variant, 100% O-code every time. Bisharp is, even if it's an Assault Vest set, killed by Aura Sphere. Espeon dies to a +1 Shadow Ball. Claydol dies to a +1 Shadow Ball. Jolteon dies to anything that we pack. Tapu Fini dies to a +1 Flurry Cannon. Delmise dies to a +1 Shadow Ball, even if it's Assault Vest. Ambipom has a chance to die to a Flurry Cannon with no boost. And Aggron dies to 2 Aura Spheres. And we will outspeed it every time. So that is our beginning set. Obviously, it's a win condition. We've got to get some chip damage on some things, and there's a reason. And we have some Pokemon here that can do that. Our next Pokemon is Bones, the Alolan Marowak, holding that thick club with Lightning Rod, just so we can switch in on that Jolteon. Especially if it's specs. We're running Flitter Blitz, Boomerang, Substitute, and Shadow Bone with 252 in attack, and we're adamant so we can get that thick club boost up to make it to 290 in the stat, making it ridiculous for level 50. 60 in HP, and the rest goes into speed. The speed allows us to outspeed a -1 Bisharp. So a -1 speed Bisharp, and there's a reason I'm running that. So let's say, as you see over here, we have Interwebs, the Galvantula, who's obviously going to set up webs. Now, the reason we are bringing this thing is so that he has one of two options. He cannot outspeed us either way. So once we get the webs up and he brings in his Bisharp, now it's going to be a +2 attack, right? So what do you think I'm going to do? If I'm running enough speed to outspeed it, I can predict him to go for a Sucker Punch and go for a Substitute. If he goes for Sucker Punch, great, I get a free hit off. If he goes for an attack, I don't lose my Marowak, and I can go out into something else that can deal with it, say Magearna. Next up, we have our Life Orb, Swords Dance, Ball to the Lycanroc, Accelerock, Brick Break, Crunch, and Swords Dance. We're running enough speed to outspeed a modest. We're running enough speed to outspeed a modest Espeon. We are adamant, and literally this thing can sweep the entire team if I can get a Swords Dance up correctly, or at least punches huge holes. At +1 or at +2, Crunch has a chance to OHKO Goodra. Fun fact of the day. So, and at +1 also, or at +2, Accelerock is a 2-hit KO on Tapu Fini, Crunch is an OHKO on Delmise, Brick Break is obviously an OHKO on Bisharp, Crunch is an OHKO on Claydol, Crunch is an OHKO on Espeon, Accelerock has a chance to OHKO Crunch OHKO Chandelure, Accelerock has a chance to OHKO Ambipom, and Brick Break OHKO's Bisharp, or Aggron that's not, sturdy. So, good times. Next, we're bringing our Sheer Horse Life Orb, Nidoking. Sludge Wave, Earth Power, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball. Another win con for us. This thing is outrunning a max speed Gudra, and Ice Beam 2 KOs it. This thing is just literally just to hit things. Especially, it's a good counter to. I wouldn't say counter it, but it's a good switch into things like Delmise or Jolteon in particular. Even HP Ice won't kill us. It hits things hard. That's really what I wanted to do. It forces switches. That's what I want. Next up is our Focus Sash, Unnerve, Galvantula, and this is going to be our dedicated lead. We're just max speed not really to outrun anything, just so that we have the speed there, because there's really nothing else to run on it. We're running a mild nature because we're not going to be living hits anyway, but we're running Sticky Web, Volt Switch, Bug Buzz, and Sucker Punch, and the reason for that is this is our dedicated lead. We can do one of two things. He's probably going to lead with his Espeon, expecting my Sticky Webs, right? So I bounce it back. So he's obviously going to go for either Calm Mind or a straight up attack. If he goes for the straight up attack, that's good for us because we can click Bug Buzz and hit the thing really hard. If he goes for a Calm Mind, then we can still 2-hit KO it. If he decides to go for straight up attack, we're going to go for Bug Buzz, beat down to our Sash, and we can proceed to go for Sucker Punch the next turn to kill off the Espeon, and then set up our webs before we die, because after that we outspeed almost everything barring Jolteon. So yeah, that's a fun time for that. Now the next Pokemon is our Normalium Z, a rock one. Liquidation, Poison Jab, Leech Life, and Stockpile. First up, this thing 1v1 is Tapu Fini every day. Second up, Z Stockpile, as you know, or as you should know, allows me to set up a +1 in both defenses and then restores all my HP, which is really good if I get whittled down, which is going to happen. This thing is bulky, but it's not going to die right off the bat, so I need to restore it back. And this thing could sit in front of its entire team. It can live a Thunder from a Jolteon, from an Expert Belt Jolteon. It can live a Thunder from a Jolteon. It's a roll for the Expert Belt, but it sits in front of Chandelure every day of the week. It can't be burned, and this one is not going to be whittled down easily. So, with that, the way that I have this set up is that I want to get the webs up, because as soon as I get webs up, his entire team is slowed down. Magearna can come in, particularly on things like Bisharp or Tapu Fini or Sableye or Espeon can set up the Jolteon and can set up a shift gear and essentially just win the game from there. But I need Lycanroc to either weaken or get rid of the Gudra, and I would ideally like to get rid of the Bisharp before I set up with Magearna. So that's pretty much how I want. I need the chip damage. I need the chip damage on Gudra, and I need Bisharp to be dead before I go into Magearna and start hitting things. So that is the team. If you guys liked, please sure that you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and make sure that you go check out Eric's channel. His link will be in the description below. If that's all it's been from me, this has been Phantom Base. And before I go any further, I want to explain why I'm going off the webcam for a while. One, because I tend to focus better when I don't see myself on the camera. So I want to do well in these battles. So that's how it's going to be. We're going to have the camera off for a while, so that I can focus better, play better. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the battles better too. So, once again, if that's all it's been from me, this has been Phantom Base, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye guys.